It looks like Windows Update is breaking a lot of computers. So today, I'm going to show you how to deal with it, even if your system won't boot. Stay tuned. So there's been a lot of media lately on the problem with Windows Update. Personally, I don't see many issues, but these issues don't necessarily affect every single user. In fact, reports say that it might be only about 1% of users being affected, but there's 1.5 billion Windows users out there. That means there's about 15 million people having these problems. But even though the number of these people is kind of sparse-ish, the severity of the problem itself is pretty severe, yet Microsoft hasn't pulled the update. Instead, seriously, the recommendation has literally been to uninstall the update and just pause updates for a couple of weeks. I'm not even kidding. So today, I'm going to show you how to remove the affected updates, even on systems that aren't booting, and yeah, how to pause updates, I guess, for a few weeks at least. But first, I gotta pay some bills, so check out today's sponsor. Are you still running Windows 11 unactivated because the license just costs too much? Then you should check out today's sponsor, VIP SCD Key, where you can get a valid Windows 11 license for around $20. Stop dealing with that stupid watermark and actually be able to change your desktop background with a valid license for Windows 11. Just go to the link in the description below and pick up a valid Windows 11 license key. During checkout, use the code CYBERCPU for a 25% discount. Once you have your key, go to your activation settings in Windows 11 and click the link that says Change Product Key. Enter the product key you just purchased and hit Activate. Now you don't have to deal with that stupid watermark. And check out the description for deals on not just Windows, but Office too. Now, on with the video. So I don't know how many people are affected by these recent update issues, and Microsoft hasn't released any numbers at all. They've just said that it's a limited number of people. But I've had some customers affected. It's just me personally, I haven't been. But I think Microsoft should have pulled this update either way, especially since these issues include systems not booting. I mean, that's a pretty serious problem, but ultimately it's what led me to making this video in the first place. Also, the process that I'm going to show you today isn't just for these specific bad updates. This goes for any bad updates that could possibly come out in the future. Hopefully not the near future, because by the time I release this video, this specific problem will hopefully be resolved. God, I hope it is. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be another problem right around the corner. So let's jump on the system and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, and here we are in Windows 11. This is obviously going to be a VM because I'm going to have to restore from snapshots a couple of times in this video. But what we want to do is we want to actually go into settings, and this is just if your system boots. Obviously, if it doesn't boot, we're going to cover that once we do this, but hopefully it does boot. So what you're going to do is if you're having these problems that are associated with this update, the best way to deal with them is just go to Windows Update and then go down to Update History and see if you have the affected update installed on your system, which you probably do. And unfortunately, the way that Update works, it kind of layers them. So right now, as you can see, we do have the KB 507-4109, this is the one that's causing all of these problems. However, we also have 8127, which KB 507-8127, which is kind of the out-of-band fix that went on top of this one. So this one right here is superseded by this one right here. So if you have multiple updates, you're wanting to get rid of this one here. The 507-4109 is the bad update. But we have to get rid of all of the updates that have superseded it or have came after it that are adding onto this one. We can't just uninstall that one. I know it's complicated, but let me show you how to do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down and you're going to hit uninstall and update. Well, as you can see, we can't uninstall the 507-4109 because it's not on the list. But we do have 507-8127 on the list. And that's the one that we're going to have to install. Now, we're not worried about the enablement package for 25H2 or the other updates interface that aren't related to the security update itself. We're only worried about the security update, which is this one right here, the 507-8127, or whatever one may come after that one moving forward, which very well may be a different update by the time this video is released. But what you can do is you can simply just go and click uninstall right here and push the uninstall button. And what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and uninstall that update. Now, for whatever reason, if this doesn't work, which sometimes it might not work, might give you some kind of an error of some kind if you do it this way, there is another way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this update completely uninstall, and then we'll go ahead and uninstall the 507-4109 using the other method, which is just as easy as this one. Just takes a few more steps. Okay, so once you get onto this screen, if you're just installing the 8127 and you still have other updates that you need to uninstall, then obviously you want to hit restart later. You don't want to hit restart now. But go ahead and push restart later. It'll refresh this list, and as you can see, now we have the security update 507-4109 that we could uninstall. But I told you I was going to show you a different way of doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. We're going to click start and we're going to type in CMD. And then from here, we're going to run it as administrator and go ahead and hit yes to the user account control. Now from the command prompt, we want to type WUSA, which stands for the Windows Update Standalone Installer. And then we're going to hit space and we're going to hit /uninstall space, and then we're going to do / again, and then this time we're going to type KB : and then we want the KB number itself, which in this case it's 507-4109. Now, if you have more updates that you need to uninstall, and not just this one, if you're going to uninstall more updates, because you're essentially like peeling back the layers of an onion right now. We're uninstalling all the updates that superseded this update so we can uninstall this update. So if you do have more that you want to uninstall, you can also push / no restart, and then it won't give you the option to restart. However, it's not really all that important because once it's done installing, just don't restart it and you can run another command. So once you do that, go ahead and hit enter. It's going to open up the standalone installer right here, and it's going to ask you if you want to uninstall it. Go ahead and hit yes, and it'll go through the uninstall process right there. And it's going to take a minute to do that. But once it's finished, you should be done uninstalling updates, if that is the last update that you wanted to uninstall. So if you weren't experiencing boot problems, then your system should be fine at this point. I would highly recommend pausing your updates for a couple of weeks though, and hopefully Microsoft will get this problem fixed once your updates resume. But if you're one of the unfortunate ones whose system was rendered unbootable because of this update, it's a little bit harder, but don't worry, I got you. Let's jump back on the system and I'll show you how to fix it. Okay, so here I am, booted from a Windows 11 setup CD. Now this one right here, you're gonna have a Windows recovery. So chances are you're not gonna be able to access recovery on your own system, but if you can, then that's a good thing. You go ahead and do it that way. If you can't, then go ahead and boot from a USB drive, and all you gotta do is just hit next, and then you wanna click repair this PC, hit next, and it'll go into the repair console or the Windows recovery from within the USB. So I'm going to go ahead and click US, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on troubleshoot. And at this point, we got to go into the command prompt. However, there's one little downside to this right here. And that downside is I intentionally enabled BitLocker on this system because I think BitLocker might have something to do with these systems that aren't booting. So if you have BitLocker enabled, hopefully you have your BitLocker recovery key because you're gonna need it. If you don't have it, then you're gonna have to log on to your Microsoft account in order to recover that recovery key because, you know, unfortunately, Microsoft automatically enables BitLocker on a lot of systems without most people knowing it. So if that's you, well, you can complain to Microsoft about it, but I'll go ahead and help you get out of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Microsoft's website, you're going to log into your Microsoft account, and you're going to look for the recovery key associated with this identity key right here. And it's going to be a really long key, and I'm going to go ahead and type mine in right now. And unfortunately, even though I'm doing this in a virtual machine, I still can't cut and paste. So I'm going to be going through the same pain that you're going to go through. So the first thing is I'm just going to go ahead and type this in. So So as you can see, I typed in that really long number right there. And if I hit continue, if everything works the way it's supposed to, it should unlock the drive, which it did, and we're good. All right, so what we're gonna have to do at this point is we're gonna have to find our actual boot drive. And to do that, we're gonna type in disk part. And then from disk part, you wanna do list part here, and this will list your partitions. So list, there we go, because you just don't listen to me. All right. Hit list volume, not list partition. So it's list VOL. Apparently, I forgot how to use disk part. So from here, what we're gonna want is we're gonna want volume number 1, which is our C drive, of course, and it's 129 gigabytes. Perfect, okay. So exit out of that. All right, so what we're gonna want now is we're gonna wanna use the DISM command in order to remove our updates. But we don't have any idea what those updates are. We don't have the numbers or the package names and stuff like that. So the way we get it is we're gonna go DISM space, and we're gonna go /image C:\\. And that's gonna tell us that we want to look at the image that we're actually gonna be looking at is on the C drive. That's why we needed to find out which drive our primary drive was. Okay, so from there we're gonna hit /get-packages space /format :table. And this is just kind of makes it look pretty for you. And then go ahead and hit enter, and it should give you a table of all the installed Windows Update packages. So we're gonna give it a second here. And there we go. Okay, so what we're going to be looking for is we're not looking for service stack or update roll-up fix. What we're looking for specifically is we're going to look for security updates. And that one is going to be, okay, security update right here. And this one is okay, that one there is superseded. So we're going to want the next one. So this one's going to be right here. So the last one right here where it says security update, we're going to want to go to this one right here, package for roll-up fix right here. So this is the one we're looking for right here. And we're going to want to highlight that entire name just like this. So essentially like this, and this is what comes in, this is what's even worse. This is what's even more frustrating to me about this whole problem with Microsoft right now, is because the package names aren't even the same as the update name. So we don't have KB 507.8127. No, instead we have 26100.7628.1.0. It's like, what the hell, Microsoft? So essentially what you have to do is you're going to have to go to KB, or you're going to have to search Google on another system that works and find KB 507.8127. Then you're going to have to find out what roll-up version it is in order to do this. This is the part that's just, it's really pissing a lot of people off, is because this is nonsense right here. But either way, this is the way it is. So what we do is we're going to highlight this name right here. We're going to hit Control-C to copy it. And then from our command prompt now, we're going to have to type in DISM space / just like before, we're going to go image :C: space. And then we're going to want to do / and then remove -package space, and then / package name : and paste. And here's where we want to paste in that package that we just copied from up there. And then we're going to want a space, and then since this is the first one, we need to remove 2 packages here. We're going to do / no restart, because we don't want the system to restart, and then go ahead and hit enter. Now what it's going to do is it's going to go through and it's going to remove that one package. And now keep in mind, the next package that we have to remove is going to be the next one on the list. That's the superseded one. This is going to be the 7623 right here, which of course is a completely random name that we're going to have to figure out by going to Microsoft's website and finding out what Windows version number, what update version number coincides with the KB 507.4109, which is the update we ultimately need if you're having problems booting Windows. So from there, we're going to highlight this one too, and we're going to hit Control-C to copy it while we're waiting for the other one to uninstall. So it's going to take a minute to uninstall, so once it does, I will meet you back here, we'll run the other command, and hopefully we'll be good to go. Okay, so here we are. That one's complete. Now what I would do just to kind of save a little bit of time is just push the up arrow and it will complete the last command you did. And then all you have to do is hit backspace right here just to delete the package name. And keep in mind, we already copied the other one, so all we have to do is Control V in order to paste the new package, hit enter again, and it'll go ahead and remove that one. And now keep in mind that when we just did that, I did not select the no restart. So at this point, it should restart once this package finishes, but I don't think it's going to. We'll have to wait until it finishes to find out. I don't think it automatically restarts. I think you have to restart it manually. So if that's the case, then the no restart switch really doesn't make much of a difference, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and let this finish, and I will meet you back here once it's done. Okay, and there we go. And as you can see, the no restart literally did nothing. So that's okay. We're going to go ahead and hit exit there. And then from this point, we're going to go ahead and hit continue onto Windows 11. Now it should boot up. However, there are certain circumstances where I have noticed that it won't actually boot up. And if that's the case, usually if you just turn your system off, turn it back on again, it has to go through and it has to kind of fix the BCD and stuff. Essentially, it has to do the final thing. Yeah, updates are underway. Please keep your computer on. This is essentially what it needs to do. So in some cases, there has been a few cases where the system has not booted up after I did that, and I had to go through this process in order to get it to boot up. But for the most part, it should work fine. Okay, so once your system restarts, go ahead and click Start. Go ahead and click Settings. And then from Settings, you're going to want to go into Windows Update. Now, as you can see, my updates are already paused. But all you have to do is click on Pause Updates for 1 week, or you might want to make it 2 or 3 weeks just to be sure, in order to stop this thing from having a problem in the past. And also, if for whatever reason you have BitLocker enabled and you did not enable it, then what you can do is you can come up top right here, type encryption, find device encryption settings, and then from there, click on BitLocker drive encryption. And right here, as you can see, BitLocker is in fact turned on. If this is turned on and you didn't specifically turn it on, it's because Microsoft doesn't respect you and turns it on because they don't think you're mature enough to be able to protect your own data. So what I highly recommend is turning BitLocker off, and then make sure it goes through the decryption process and it decrypts the drive while you're sitting here. Don't restart the drive until it's done, just in case something else gets screwed up. So I'm not sure exactly what's causing the current update problems, but I don't think it's file corruption. I think it's a driver issue with the Windows kernel communicating with the storage driver itself. I also kind of have a hunch that there's something to do with BitLocker in there too. That's why I intentionally enabled BitLocker on my test system here, just to show you how to unlock a BitLocker volume in order to fix this issue. However, just like I just talked about though, if you're using BitLocker and you know that you're using BitLocker, then you know what? You do you. But if you didn't even know what it was, that means Microsoft enabled it automatically. And it may be the very thing that caused this problem in the first place. So personally, I would recommend disabling it, especially since it's not really as secure as you might think anyway, being that Microsoft has already said that they will be releasing your keys to law enforcement if requested. So what's the point? BitLocker has been the #1 reason, or at least the most common reason, why I've been unable to recover customer data in situations where a system goes down. So it definitely protects your data, and sometimes it protects your data from you. But with that said, we've all had our complaints about Windows 11 lately, and it's not always about updates. In fact, the updates are kind of a new thing. That it's often about bloat and specifically AI slop. So if you'd like to put a stop to that too, then check out this video right here, where I show you how to eliminate all of the AI in Windows 11. But as always, you guys have a great day.